The camera is in... Jeez. The camera is in the same place. And again, it goes back to what I'm saying with this fella about saying that you really want to see the coin, not through the image of the magnifier, not through the image of a camera, but just a blown up version through the camera. I haven't sort of said that properly. Oh, now I've got hiccups. But this is how you tell the double rim. You get that refraction of light. These things should not be in proof sets. Or, excuse me, this is a mint set. It's not a proof set because it's the blue kind. The red kind, which I was going to show you, is a deluxe set. This camera's going to cut off. So this is going to be in two, oh blimey, here we go, 2 parts. But I can tell you with my trained eye, I can see deformity in the coin. The same as if I go up here to this £2 coin. This has got what is called a corkscrew effect. It's where the inner sorry, it's where the inner that's the equivalent of blown into a paper bag that stops hiccups. The inner rim comes up onto the outer rim. I call it the corkscrew because that's exactly what it looks like. It's a screw effect. That should not be in a mint set of coins. It just shouldn't. But like I say, there are different things on this coin that actually show up exactly what I've been saying about the raw mint. Because it's not until you start blowing it up like this do you start seeing all this. Do you start seeing all these drumsticks? This side's way away and this side's really close to the inner coin. And this is where you get the planchets from. And this is what makes a coin worth money. And actually, to have a proof or mint coin look like this, I think is worth stacks of money. Absolutely stacks of money, because it's something that shouldn't be in a proof set, and most certainly not something that should be in circulation. I can't explain it any better than what I'm saying. The other thing with these drumsticks, you have the inline drumsticks, and then you have the extended drumsticks. So this is exactly the opposite on the upper coin. You will have that on this side and that on this side. Let's try it, see if you can get the gist of it. Yeah, so you've got the elongated here, the inline there. Okay, so just picture that in your mind. When you go down to the bottom, you get the opposite. You get the elongate. I says, yeah, you get the elongated here and the inline there. It's completely the opposite. But when you've got a coin that's going in and out in strike, it deforms. So something that is really quite intricate, this being extended and this being in line, if the coin's going in and out, it looks odd, and it will cause. Do you see the difference between this and that? These appear thicker. Do you see that? These are thin. The lines are thin, but these are fat. These are distortions that you should not be paying a premium to the Royal Mint for that. You really should not. And if I was a collector, knowing what I know now, I mean, I'd be quite prepared to buy this set for £15 or whatever it is he's got it up for. Simply because you could probably make your money back by breaking the set up and selling it for what it is, which is a total mess. I mean, look at that. That's a blob of metal. The same as this here. You see, if you've got a security feature which is deformed, how can you define with your proof set or mint set what is correct? You can't. If you've got something that's not right, it's not right. You know, do you know that is RB? So I'm looking at this like this now. That is RB, but I swore that wasn't. Oh, hang on a minute. I've got to convince myself now. I've gone so drastically off course. Where's my £2 coin? There it is. It's hidden. Oh, it's because I was charging my phone up. I just want to double check that I'm not giving you false information. Yeah, it's BR. I thought it was. But do you know what? Looking at that, you would never have said that's BR. You would have said that's RB. But the only reason it bells ringing in my head is because the R goes off. The towel goes off. And that usually goes under. When the coin is seated, see, this is risen. This is risen. When the coin dips, the R with its towel then goes underneath. So it's quite clear. You know, I'm going to put this in front of you. That's the coin I'm looking at. I can't tell you what. Hang on, I'll have to have a look. But it's a 2015, and actually, that's the last year that these were in. Because it went over to the Britannias. But let's see if I can get this in line for you. No, because of the light of the let me get that light out of the way so you can see this coin dipping and rising. And I can't do it because my other hand, if you look at the left side of the coin, you can see that there's a shadow. That's where the coin, the inner coin, has dipped. Whereas on the other side, you can't. It's the same principle as what you're looking at here. It's exactly the same principle. To find that in your change, okay, yeah, fine. You know, I get used to the fact that we've just got crap money in change, but it infuriates me. But in normal life, you really wouldn't worry. But you're just looking at this coin, you can't see it. You can't see it. The coin is oval, not round. And it's simply because of this image here. It creates, and the only way you can do that is by measuring it. You know, me saying to you again, like this fella's saying, it's no good me saying to you, oh, this goes in and out, this goes, you know, close to the edge, blah blah blah. You need to see the coin. I can't remember where I've used this terminology before, but I have, and that's what really made me smile with this fella's comment, because it means a lot. It actually means a lot. What he was saying really does mean a lot, because it's true. But this is what's wrong with the Royal Mint. His last comment to me on my last film post rather. Forgotten what he said now. Oh, it was in my head then, and it's just gone. About the statement about coins in circulation. You know, you expect to see like rubbish, really. Once the coin's in circulation, doesn't matter what degree it is. And this is jumping from that. This is where I'm going with this BU. The BU, brilliant uncirculated, should never ever be used because it's a con. Because it's letting you have, or it's letting the Royal Mint sell a coin that's got defects that are very minimal. Do you see what I mean? It's the same thing with stamps. A stamp not being a stamp, a Cinderella. It's labels. It's labels, and these labels mean that you can sell something that really should. The BU coins should be circulated. But we do know that when a coin is being produced and these things are being shot down ramps and chutes and they're immediately banging into each other, you know, then they all get banged into bags, then they all get banged in transport, blah blah blah. It's, to me, it's deception. To me, it's deception because you're trying to sell a coin at a higher rate for something that it shouldn't be. Once the coin has got a ding in it, it doesn't, even if it's only one, that coin is not what it should be. And this is why you shouldn't ever handle coins with your hands, because your sweat in your hand or the oil in your hand is like an acid and it reacts to the coin straight away. Another reason why you look at coin sets, and if you remember the one that I showed you probably a while back now when I did this before. It dulls. It's not toning, it dulls because your oil interacts with the coin. But the telltale signs are, like with this, no, I can't show you this security feature because of the light. If I was to show you this security feature, normally, as this guy's saying to me, normally, and then you blow it up with going close. What do they call that? Focusing. There are differences, and the big difference is with the security feature, which is a con, because the security feature, what that girl was looking for, is that, and that is incredible, because she can't. There's no way. This is what I was going to say to you. You won't be able to find it. That's what was going through my mind. But it was just that incredible that she was even trying. You cannot see. You can get the 4 reels. Okay, there's 2 to 1 reel. 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 So that's 4 reels. Okay. No matter how hard you try, even with trying to reflect the light, you cannot see who in their right mind would make a security feature that you can't see. It defeats the object. Because the only way you can see that is by having a proof coin. Does that make sense? Because it is pristine. That's nice and clean. But as soon as it's enters circulation, you can kiss goodbye to that. That's what this guy is trying to. What he was trying to say to me, it made sense, but to my brain, it's sort of, I need it in a different version. I need it in my words of speech. He's made my day. This fella, he's really made my day. It's the only comment I've ever got, and it's the most constructive that I'll ever get because he knows what he's talking about. So bless him. But look, how can this be a security feature when it's deformed? That is a deform. It's a deformation, and you can't even say that it's the light of the camera, because it's different here, and you can see that bits of it are like this, shiny, and it's shiny for a reason, because this is like there's loads of lines running across it. I'm just trying to see which direction it's supposed to be. Yeah, it runs from top left to right. So these lines, there's loads of them. There's loads of them, okay? You can't see them. There's loads of them. So you wouldn't get this difference. And that's where those lines aren't. And it's here as well. And it's a little bit there. So you would be saying straight away that the security feature is telling you that that's fake. But it's not. It's not fake. It's just the Royal Mint chucking out crap coins. And that crap coin shouldn't be in a mint set or a deluxe set or an executive set or anything else. It shouldn't even be in a BU set. Although that's what actually does happen. That's the sort of thing that a BU coin would be sold as. Do you see what I mean? The coin is nice and shiny, but it can't be sold as a mint coin, or although in this case it is being sold as a mint coin. It's just a creation of a label which allows you to sell something of a different grade. And the history of that grading is quite interesting. Happened in the 1940s, I believe. Some fella came up with the grading. eBay use it now. I don't use it. I wouldn't use it. I just go by what I know a coin to be. So everything you're seeing, okay, in this picture, should not be in a proof set or a mint set. It shouldn't. That's just end of. That's you. You can try and argue it as much as you like, from the Royal Mint's point of view, but you can't argue that. A coin collector is either looking for a pristine coin or a coin that's got faults, errors. And with older coins, it means a lot more, because with older coins, the dies used, there's different dies. It's like with stamps, there's different dies they use for the run of the stamp, and the coins is the same. And this is one of the things that I'm trying to express when you get something like Jody Clark, because that is so brilliant, and I've never seen it anywhere else in any of the other coins. Jody Clark, she put her stamp on that coin by joining the reg and the gra in the inscription. To join in that, it's ingenious. It really is ingenious. A fantastic sculpture. Whereas most people, when they're doing these coins, they're not thinking like that. At least that's the way I understand it. You know, they're wanting to create an image for what it is, if that sort of makes sense. It doesn't, I know. But, you know, every coin is engraved, and I urge anybody to watch. I don't know that there's an English version. I know there's a Japanese and I know there's an American version where they show this engraving and the magnification they need to do this engraving. You know, it's so fine. And again, with stamps, you'll see it. It's unique. It's unique. I mean, look at that. Look at that. You've got an inner circle and another circle. Yeah, it's got all these lines running through it. I mean, as a security feature goes, there's so much going on, but you can't see it. You can't see it. That's the whole problem. So what's the point of having it? That's, you know, for G's sake, grow up. What is the Royal Mint trying to say? What is the Royal Mint trying? They're making a mockery of themselves. Now, these people should be shot. They shouldn't be in the job. They really shouldn't be in the job. They don't understand. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand. It just doesn't. It's incompetent. Competence. You know. And the next bit I'm going to go on to about that makes me laugh about quality control. When I was watching the American version of this guy, he's got his old eyeglass. Well, he's not got an eyeglass, he's got a magnifying glass. But he's checking the coin. And do you know the one thing he doesn't look at? Although I don't know whether American coins have it like we've got, where you've got an inscription around the outer edge. That's why you need, again, that's why this fella's right. You need to see someone looking at that outer edge at quality control. And I wonder how many people do. I just wonder how many people do. And I wonder how many of these sets, this has got an inscription standing on the shoulders of giants. And one of there's a number of things to make it a fake, is the centering of the text. There's a cross in between the start and finish. There's a cross. But I can tell you with my hand on my heart, most of those crosses are diabolical. They are diabolical. Now, if you've got a corkscrew there, you've got this corkscrew, that does not infuse to you too much about what the inscription's going to be like, does it? I mean, come on, let's face it. But you can't see that inscription because it's hidden by the mounting of where the coin is. It's set in a mount. So you, as a collector, as coin collector, are being deceived from the outset. From the outset, before you even start looking at anything else, if you can't see that inscription and that cross, how the heck do you know that that coin's fake, not fake? Because as it stands, it's even without the inscription, it's shouting at you that this coin's fake by their own standard. I saw there is an English version about fakes. It's about fake coins. It's not about inscriptions and errors. This is about fake coins. And the guy says the fakes are so good that you can't tell them apart from the coin, from the Royal Mint coins. No shit, Shylock. Anybody with an ounce of common sense, that's why they look so clever, is because they're so crap. Because the stuff the Royal Mint are pumping out is crap. And that's in a premium priced. Oh no, I can't. Might see my head's crashing now, because I get so incensed with this. I get so incensed with it. It's, you know, cool. I've got a reputation, especially when I was at work. I've got a reputation for being a right. I don't know. I don't know what they used to call me mental at spec, but it does my head in. Talk about rules are meant to be broken. This is a prime example of that. The reason you can't tell a fake and you have to resort to other things such as weight, diameter, beading, security features, the more you try and escape the reasoning by creating all these different things. I can't remember. The pound coin is the list on the pound coin, because it was the most the bimetallic pound coin was the most fake coin ever in the history of coins. The pound coin, and I can't remember what years they were. They were the most fake coins ever, because the list of, not fakery, the list of defections, which is why they can't tell. It made a mockery of this bloke who's trying to describe to you how good a fake is. It's not how good a fake is, it's how crap the coin you've got in the first place is. Because you can't define that to a fake. Because I'll tell you something, it's like the Donald Rumsfeld speech that he made. Do you remember the Donald Rumsfeld speech? When he was talking about what the Russians and the terrorists and how the CIA works, and he got really tongue-tied. It's comical. It's one of the best things you'll ever see on any TV. His speech, they don't know what we know, but we know that they don't know what they know. And he went on and on. He went on and on about this, and none of it made sense. None of it made sense, but it's a beautiful way of describing a CIA secrecy that's absolutely bullshit. Sorry, I have to use that word. I'm sorry, kids, if you listen to that. It was a drama. But in seriousness, what he was saying was no one can tell the truth because the truth is distorted. And this is what you've got with America. You've got Homeland Security, you've got the CIA, you've got the FBI, you've got the NSA, and each one of them is deceiving the other. So you can understand why he got so tongue-tied, because he's then trying to put that to a terrorist. God, flipping heck. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, how Iraq happened, I do not know. I really do not know. There's a fella. I know I'm drifting right off the subject here. There's a fella out there called Christopher Bolin, and he was one of the truthers of 9/11. And yeah, that's it. And some of the